Hey, what's going on? It's Jeff over at AET. Today, going to be walking you through Email Studio, just kind of a live demo of how to use the tool at its basics. So let's just pop right into it. So from the main menu area, you can just select Email Studio. So our Email Studio is built to be a tool to basically assist you with your email campaign creation. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel here when it comes to email. We're just basically deploying a tool that allows you to utilize any creative that you might have done in Ads or Creative Studio, and then be able to utilize it in our campaign builder here. So we have some other documentation on our site that talks about all these buttons and whatnot and kind of these sidebars and what they do, but this video is meant to go in a little bit deeper. So first thing you want to do is select the account that you want to work on through this dropdown, and we're going to go ahead and do Genesis just because we have some built-out templates for it. It's always going to bring you into a blank design, but you can always load up design by hitting designs that you've previously done by hitting your design files right here, and you can access anything that you've built in the past or saved in the past. The whole point here is to be able to eventually basically drag and drop images to any kind of template that you've created in the past so that you're not having to redesign on a monthly basis. You can just update everything. So we're going to go in and start with a new design and kind of walk you through some of these buttons here. So within my content area, I'll get to this piece in a minute, but everything is built off of kind of a skeleton structure with these blocks. So you can drag and drop block features here, and these are basically just saying to the system how you want to lay out your specific email template. So you can grab as many of these as you want, and you can always build upon these as you move along. But we're just going to lay out a few here just in no real order, but just we'll pretend that we have a lot more in here. But what we can do now is go to our content, and we can start assigning different content blocks to each one of these columns that we've built in here. So images go where images go. You can lay out text boxes, dividers, and these basically just lay out within your specific build. You can set up the body of your text or of your campaign, and this is kind of like the overall structure that you'll start to build with. So if I wanted to do like a black background, I can select a white text as my main text layer. The color of my background can be black, and you can choose the font family that you wish to use. We don't have preloaded OEM fonts just yet, but we're going to be adding those in shortly. Usually most OEMs aren't too picky about it as long as you're not using like Comic Sans or something like that. Arial is usually a pretty good one to go with. But then you can also type in your header text here, and this is what pops up into the email as it's deployed into that header area as somebody's viewing an email before they click on it. As you start to build your campaign, you can find any images here that you might have done in the past or uploaded in the past, and then you can drag and drop them into the specific areas that you want them. Then once you click on any of these images within the main builder, you can start working with them. So for instance, I can make my image a little bit smaller by taking it off auto width. I can right align it, left align it, center align, whatever it might be. And then I can link everything by typing in a specific URL. We also have a handy little link builder here that'll redirect you over to a Google campaign builder where you can grab, you can type in any kind of GTM codes if you are tracking that stuff. So we can go in here and we can drop in a specific URL. And so anytime once this ad campaign is deployed, if somebody clicks on there, it'll go to whatever URL is associated. All of these areas are pretty self-explanatory when it comes to what they are. Obviously, text goes in here, and you can build these out as much as you want. The big piece when it comes to starting to build these is really getting to know this builder and how it looks on a mobile-based view and a desktop-based view. So as I go in here, I can take a look by switching over to different views of this, and you'll see for mobile when it condenses everything that it drops it into two stacked boxes. I can come over here now and I can select this actual block, and I can assign it different kind of rules, right? So I can make the padding on it a little bit larger if I wanted to. I can hide this on mobile, which is a big piece, and we'll show you. I'll show you here in a minute how we can utilize this piece. But you can also turn it to not stack so that you have this same view as you would within the builder. Now this is for 2 blocks like this, it's not usually a big deal, but as you start to get into 3 or 4, having it stacked might look a little bit weird, or it might look tight as you start to add content in here. So it's really good to always, as you're building these, switch between your desktop and mobile-based views so that you understand exactly how your ads or your email is going to look for different views of it, desktop versus mobile. One other thing that you can do in here is I can actually shut down views on desktop versus mobile. So let's say I wanted different text in here. I can or a different view of this, right? Or a condensed view for mobile. I can type in a long-based font or a message in here. And this could only maybe appear in desktop where it's a little bit cleaner. And then I can always hide this whenever I go into mobile. If I click on mobile and hide on mobile, so that I'm only seeing a condensed view if I wanted to utilize this piece. This is really big whenever you're looking for like call now buttons or something like that you have a phone number that somebody might dial direct from an email. Obviously, you can't do that from a desktop in most cases, so you want to hide buttons like that. Let's see. Most of these pieces are pretty self-explanatory when building this out. I think the best way to kind of learn the system at its very basic is just get in here and start building with it, and you'll kind of learn exactly how the tools work and how different views might work. You can also save all of your templates in here. So you can do save or save as. So like a save is basically like an override, and save as would mean like save to new. If I wanted to utilize a template across the board, I can share this template. So let's say I have multiple Genesis stores within my group. I can share it to another rooftop that I might have in my account. So I'm not having to rebuild this all the time. This template would now live if I shared it to another account within that rooftop settings as well. I'm going to go ahead and open up one that I've done in the past here so we can kind of play around with some of these tools in here. So let's go back into the desktop view and take a look at this. So from in here, you can kind of see how it's lined up within a specific desktop view. Now, whenever you click on any of these blocks or rows, you can control them a lot more by assigning different rules or properties to it. So let's say I wanted to make this bar white, which it is right now. I can come in here, select this area, and make my background color differ from the main body that I've selected. So if I wanted to go red, I could do that, and then I can build out the padding a little bit further so it lives in a wider view. So I'm going to go back to white here just so it doesn't look all funky. All right, let's see. Mobile view. This is a perfect example of something that we can show differently on desktop and mobile. So it looks very nice and stretched out in a desktop view, but in mobile view, it looks a little weird. So what I could do here is I could duplicate this, and I can shut this one down, this view right here down, hide on mobile. And then I can come in here and I can make my font a little bit smaller. Let's see if that helps it look in one nice line. All right, that looks pretty good. And then if I go back over to my desktop view, it's going to show me both of those in here right now. So what I want to do is actually click here, and then I want to hide on desktop. So my experience will look totally different once that actual email pushes through with showing this on the desktop view, and then this piece in a mobile-based view, and this is blurred or grayed out, so you won't actually see it when you're coming in through a mobile experience. So let's say you've gone through here, you've customized all of these pieces, you're happy with the campaign that you've built, you've got all your URLs set for all of these areas for search inventory, it's going to the specific URL that you want it to. You can do a couple things from here. So I always recommend saving your files as much as possible, but you can send a test email, and let's just send this to my account. Let's see that one. And let's see if this pops up in here. Oh, that's my personal. Here's my test email. And looky there, it comes in here in my desktop experience. It's not showing any of those images, but if I were to open this up in a mobile-based view, it would show a little bit differently here. So go back over here. So once you're happy with your email, what you can do is you just hit the export HTML, and we're going to do the heavy lifting here for you. So basically everything that you've built in here, it's going to build this into an HTML format so that it's you're able to deploy it via your CRM. So you take this file, you embed it in whatever CRM you're using at your dealership, and you deploy from there. We do not do email deployments because it's a whole layer of frustration when it comes to authentications and whatnot. Your CRM is a full database full of all of your contacts. You can deploy easily from there. This has really just been a run through, a base, understanding of how to build your email campaigns. Like I said earlier, the best thing that you can possibly do is kind of run through the system, kind of really understand it by messing around with all the different tools, how things lay out. You'll become more comfortable with it, just like with any of our products that we have. They all just take a little bit of time for you to kind of get used to the new experience. So if you do have any other additional questions or need additional help, you can contact us at any point by hitting this little chat function. Somebody's usually available even after hours to set up some additional training with you or answer any questions that you might have. All right, thanks for watching. Take care.